Hey there folks, welcome back to another video. The hair's a little wild right now because we just got done electroshocking the backyard pond. The electrofishing. I know you guys have seen it before. It's a boat that comes out. They send electromagnetic waves into the water and it makes your fish like temporarily stunned and they flip over and float belly up to the top and you scoop a net and pick them up. Yeah, we just did that. And the results were a little shocking. But that's not until the next video, so I don't know why I'm even talking about that right now. I'm just really excited about it. But while you're here, you might as well hang around for a few minutes because I'm about to share with you guys one of the coolest things that has ever happened to me, not only as like a YouTuber, but just as a human being. I'm about to detail to you guys the trip that I just got back from not too long ago when I went to Utah, when I was invited by Polaris to attend a highly exclusive ride event where they were launching a brand new vehicle called the Xpedition. I'm sure you guys maybe have seen it by now if you're ATV people. I'm not really an ATV person. Obviously, I'm a fisherman who also camps, who also hunts, who also owns some ATVs, but I wouldn't really consider myself an ATV guy. Now, what I would consider myself is a guy who loves adventure. I also love to camp. So this trip that I just went on had a little bit of all that stuff. This trip was absolutely wild from beginning to end. All the traveling that I had to do, I had to be on like 7 different planes before this trip was all said and done. I hate flying, so that kind of sucks. But other than that, this trip was once in a lifetime. It was unbelievable, and I'm about to share it with you guys step by step in today's video. So make sure you guys smash the thumbs up button if you enjoy it. I know you will because it's literally one of the coolest things I've ever been able to do. If you want to hear me talk about the vehicle itself and like my experience with it, because I was in the thing for like 2 days straight, hang around to the end of the video and I'll kind of do like a kind of in-depth review of my experience with the vehicle. But I want to make this video more about the experience of the entire thing, not just the vehicle. Because let's be honest, I don't work for Polaris. They don't pay me to say anything. So I'm gonna be brutally honest at the end. So if you care that much about this new vehicle, hang around until the very end. And just because I have not done a giveaway in a while, I'm gonna be giving away a brand new Guggen reel as well, really soon. So if you wanna win this Guggen reel right here, watch this video. You'll get instructions on how to win it somewhere in there, because I don't give back to you guys enough. Anyways, I've talked way too much. Sit back, relax, enjoy this video. You're gonna love it, I promise. Let's start the journey. Now, unfortunately, the travel part was the worst part of this trip, hands down. And that's because where I live in Alabama, I generally have to take minimum of 2 planes, maybe even 3, to get anywhere in the country. And unfortunately, that's exactly how it was on this trip as well. One thing about it though, I was up for the challenge. Now, the first thing that I noticed once I got like near where we were gonna start this exclusive ride event was the scenery. When you think of Utah, at least me, I never thought of huge mountain ranges covered with snow. I never thought about rolling hills and flatlands and mountains and desert, like all right next to each other. It was one of the most unique scenery experiences I've ever had in my life. Guys, look at the view. I have not seen snow-capped mountains in the summertime since old Afghanistan. Well, we are in Utah, folks. Salt Lake City to be exact. Have one more flight to get on because we are pretty rurally located on this little trip. We are kind of out in the middle of nowhere. So I gotta hop on one more plane, do a little bit of a puddle jump, so to speak. And we'll finally be there after 6 or 7 hours of flying today. Ended up taking an Uber from the airport where I landed to my little hotel for the evening, where there was going to be a big party that Polaris was hosting to introduce people to this new awesome adventure vehicle. And this hotel had a view. Let me tell you, when you first walked in to the little reception area where you check in, there's a little like restaurant and you just walk out and there's just mountains. mountain range, green grass, red clay, golf courses, lakes. It was one of the most incredible views I've ever seen. Woo, we finally made it to the hotel. About 10 hours of total flying. But we are here and this place is absolutely beautiful. And by this place, I mean Utah. Everything I've seen from Utah during all these hours of flying, blown my socks off. Had no idea Utah was this scenic, but that's my first takeaway. Let's take a little walk outside. Let me give you guys a fresh example. All right, I mean, doesn't look too fancy right now. You got the pool, and then you look over here, bam! Got the mountain ranges right there. And this is actually kind of a crappy view with the pool right there. Oh yeah, let's walk around the corner right here. Shablam! More mountains. And then between the mountains, you've got all the green grass. Look at all that green grass. Like there's like golf courses and stuff out here. It's crazy beautiful. Are y'all okay? Yeah, so I'm about to get changed and there's a little bit of like a dinner meeting thing with some Polaris people and some other influencers. I'm gonna go to that tonight, but tomorrow I will be riding in this brand new Polaris Xpedition. Don't really know what to expect. I've seen some of the promo videos and they look freaking sick. But a promo video could make anything look sick. So we have to get in this thing and see if it actually is sick. Now that first night, we went to Polaris's little launch party dinner event, and we got to see these vehicles for the very first time and put hands on them. These things were absolutely sick, just seeing them, seeing the capabilities up close. But I was more ready for the ride the next morning. Next morning, we woke up nice and early. We actually had to take a bus ride, like an hour bus ride, deeper and deeper into the Utah desert and like the canyon area where this ride was gonna start. And it just seemed like the scenery got better and better and better as this trip went on. We arrived at the start point to this huge over 100-mile ride. You guys heard me correctly, over 100 miles through the deserts of not just Utah, but I think we ended up touching Nevada and we ended up in Arizona. So we were going all over the place. Oh my God, look at this beautiful unit right here. Oh, she looking good. This convoy is getting ready to take off. Cannot wait to get behind the wheel of this thing. We've got like a convoy of, I think, 30 of these vehicles lined up. We're gonna be cutting like hundreds of miles through the Utah desert, and I don't know what to expect. This is gonna be a heck of a good time though. All right, folks, if you're still watching and you wanna win this bad boy right here, this is a 2500, the new Guggen spinning reel right here. The bait casters still have not launched yet, I know. We're patiently waiting just like you guys are. But if you wanna win that spinning gold Guggen Squad reel right there, which are phenomenal, by the way, all you have to do is smash the thumbs up button on this video right now. The next one is the important one. Over 65% of you guys watching right now are not subscribed to this channel, and you have to be if you want to win any of these giveaways. So the best thing to do is subscribe right now. Click the bell notification. That way you definitely will not miss the next video when I announce the winner of this, and then you won't miss future videos where I might have a giveaway hidden in there. So like, subscribe, bell notification, that's literally it. I'm gonna announce the winner of this in my next video. Now back to the adventure. We're about 20 miles into this ride, and guys, the scenery, let me just show you. Look at what we're riding through. I mean, just canyons and think we're in Arizona right now, as a matter of fact, but these trails, they just cut through the countryside. It's absolutely incredible. Got the whole convoy stretching way back that way. Well, we are about at the halfway point of this little ride, and it has been one hell of a ride so far. And apparently it's about to get better. By better, that just might mean more dangerous. I don't know. I mean, as you guys can see, the terrain has already taken a turn for the worse. We're about to keep on climbing these little hills, spiral, and eventually we're gonna be on the other side of this mountain, I think. But you've got little features like this beautiful piece of path right here, just waiting for somebody to plummet to their death. And on this side of the vehicle, we just got straight up rock wall. I mean, straight up 20, 30 foot rock wall. Another one of those like sick features that you don't think about was the GPS, like the onboard built-in GPS these vehicles have, and every other single vehicle in the ride had that same GPS and they were all linked. So you could see where every individual rider is on your GPS. So I could see the vehicle in front of me, I could see the vehicle behind me. Super sick technology, one of the many awesome features of this vehicle. Somehow the landscape has changed again. As you can see, there's really not a whole lot around me in terms of mountain ranges and stuff like that there was a little while ago. Also, the temperature has dropped a solid 10 or 15 degrees. I'm not even kidding. Like, it was like 90 when we started, and now it's like 75. No humidity, just absolutely beautiful desert weather. Taking one of the mini breaks that we've had to take, pee breaks or otherwise. The whole convoy goes way back there. Vehicle has been impressive, I have to say. Between the power and how smooth it glides over these rocks with the suspension system, and then the interior being fully enclosed, having AC, having a radio, we got some crazy things going on with this vehicle, and it is super capable. Now, as this seemingly endless trail ride started to come to an end, as we started to get closer to our campsite, because remember, we're camping here. We're going out into the middle of the desert right near the Grand Canyon, and we are living on top of the ATVs. So right before dark, we start approaching the base of this beautiful mountain, and there's the campsite. It's already set up. Well, we rolled up to the campsite, and oh my gosh, what a view. I think I may have found my personal camping spot for the evening. I want to turn the camera around right where I'm going to be sleeping. I'm going to be sleeping up there on top of the unit. Guys, look at this stinking view. And I'm not even sure that the camera does it any justice at all. Right here in front of us, I mean, there's a huge drop off into this valley, like a canyon. And we're right here on the edge. I mean, this campground is right here on the edge. Absolutely beautiful scenery, cannot beat it. But sleeping up here and being able to look down into this valley right here, oh my gosh. But as we roll in, before supper time and any of that, it's time to set up that rooftop tent, which I was extremely excited about trying out in real life. Look, I don't want to brag, but your boy's going to be comfortable tonight. Up the ladder and into paradise, my friends. Let's just slide on in here. Oh, yes. This rooftop tent is a lot bigger than it looks. Could easily sleep 2 people up here. A pillow, sleeping bag, and a blankie. So no matter how cold this desert air gets tonight, I'm going to be good. Also, you got to give them props for integrating some lighting directly into the tent. That's something that pretty much every tent needs. Once we got there and got our rooftop tents all set up, we're ready for bed, you know, ready to chill. They had a fully catered meal ready for us in the middle of the desert. And like I said, shout out to Polaris. This was a freaking cool event. All right, well, I'm getting settled in for the evening, but got some more riding to do tomorrow, so I will see y'all then. Folks, I don't know if there's a better morning view than that. If there is, I haven't seen it. Just got up, it's about 6 a.m. and it's already like super light outside. This whole like mountain time zone thing, or Pacific, whatever we're in, it's hella confusing. On this trip, I've gone from Central Time to Eastern Time to Mountain Time to Pacific Time, which is what we're on now. So my body has no idea what's going on. The old rooftop tent was absolutely mint. I mean, it was perfect. I was pretty dang comfortable for a tent. Let's break this thing down. It's really neat how Polaris integrated this rooftop tent camping system. I mean, took about 5 minutes to pack this thing back up, folds up, straps down, ready to ride again. All right, guys, we got the rig packed up, and we are about to make a little trek to the Grand Canyon. It's apparently like 10 miles down this trail, so we're gonna rip our unit down there. I've never seen the Grand Canyon, so this is kind of a big moment in a young man's life. After a pretty quick 10-minute ride, we made it to the Grand Canyon, and it exceeded all expectations. Gotta see this view. Holy smokes, guys. Oh my goodness. Wow. You're kidding me. Unbelievable. Well, I don't know what I was expecting from the Grand Canyon, but I don't think my expectations could have prepared me for this. And if you're afraid of heights like your boy is, that is a long way down, my friends. That's a long way down. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if you've never been here, the pictures and videos that you guys have seen doesn't know justice at all. I mean, there's really no way to fully encapsulate how massive this canyon is, this ravine, this valley that's cut through by a river. It is just absolutely insane. If you ever get a chance to come here, I would highly recommend it. That's all I can say. I always thought it was like a bit overrated. Maybe it wasn't a big deal, but it's kind of a big deal. Once we were done doing a little sightseeing at the actual Grand Canyon, you know, everybody took a ton of pictures, including myself. We moved on for the last part of the ride, and that was going from our camping location to a place called the Bar 10 Ranch, which was out in the middle of nowhere, but it was a super scenic place, along with every other place that I was during this trip. Really cool little ranch. We had some lunch there, and then we waited on our private little prop plane to come pick us up to take everybody to Las Vegas, where everybody would catch their connecting flights home. Not sure if you people know this about me. I do not like flying, and the smaller the plane, the worse it is. This was the smallest plane I have ever been on in my life, and although it was an incredibly scenic journey, I ended the flight with the puke bag in my hand. My only regret from this entire trip was that I did not film myself during the landing of this flight, but that's only because I physically could not film myself because I was that sick. It had nothing to do with the pilot or like turbulence, it was just that small of a plane, the anxiety of it, the fear of crashing into a mountain, all of those things kind of snowballed into an anxiety attack and a nauseous episode. Now that I've gone through the actual ride that we went on, the event, the ride, the camping portion, the Grand Canyon, the flying home in the private plane, going through the whole experience, now let's talk about the vehicle. I'm gonna give you guys about 5 things that I liked about it and a couple things that I wasn't so crazy about. Let's start off with the positives first. Let's talk about the fact that this thing is fully enclosed, all right? And that's the one that I was on, the North Star Edition. Fully enclosed with glass, windshields, windows, power windows, AC, radio, all that good stuff. I loved all those aspects. I mean, it kept the dust out of the cab. I barely got any dust on me, and we rode trails for like 10 hours that day. The climate control, you know, you can't say enough about that. Kept the ride comfortable. And the radio, I mean, everything's better with the radio in it. The next thing I really liked was how big it was. I'm talking about internally, like how wide the vehicle is, how much room there was to sit and store things. So not just room for people, but room for your stuff. The inside cab was huge, I thought. For a big guy like me, I appreciate that. The next positive is the suspension, okay? I cannot emphasize how smooth this thing was. And it's not like I was driving it down a paved highway. We were taking these things through what I would say is the toughest off-road course I've ever seen. And these things were not only smooth, but they handled massive rock drop-offs, uneven terrain. There were certain spots where I was coming up on like a big hole or something, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm going 25 miles an hour, this is gonna hurt, and then I would go over it, I wouldn't even feel it. And that happened multiple times. The fourth thing I loved about these vehicles is how capable they were. These things would not get stuck. I mean, we went through, like I just said, some of the most crazy terrain ever. There was hardly any problems. We had like a couple flat tires, I think, on the ride, but that was it. There was nothing mechanically that happened to any of these vehicles. So talk about punishing a vehicle and it standing up to the punishment and performing all the way through it. You got to give it an A+ for that. And the last thing that I really like is all the accessories that are available. I think there's over like 100 new accessories available for these vehicles, from, you know, roof racks to roof tents, obviously like the ones we camped in, different lighting accessories, different storage accessories, and the 5 new packages that they rolled out with this Xpedition. So it really covers everything that you might want. Now let's get to the negatives, and there's only a couple, but we have to be fair, and I'm gonna give you my honest reasons why. Number one, it's a performance machine, and the best way to describe that would be to tell you, if you go from driving a Toyota Camry, right, and that's what you've been driving for a long time, just a nice little low-end, smooth riding vehicle, and then all of a sudden you jump in a Lamborghini, it's probably not gonna be a smooth transition, meaning the way it's geared. This vehicle is geared more towards like a Razor, a Polaris RZR, which is like those performance off-road machines. I'm used to driving like a farm utility vehicle, like my ATV, like a Polaris Ranger, you know, like just a simple side-by-side. You go up and down trails, you haul feed, you know, you do everything with it. But these things aren't like that. They are geared for performance and they want to go. It just doesn't like to go slow, and I had to dock it for that a little bit. Because this is supposed to be a hybrid creation of all adventure vehicles into one, but it's geared more towards a performance machine, which some people are gonna like. And finally, the last thing, my last negative, the price point. And some of you guys are probably already screaming that in the comment section. When you build out one of these ATVs, so for example, like what I would want, 4-door, fully enclosed, the North Star, like the one that I test rode, if you wanna build one of those, they start at like 43,900 MSRP. It's a little steep. Obviously, a lot of you are just like, oh! Once again, this is a performance machine. It can do a lot. As far as capability, there's not a lot of vehicles that I've been in that are more capable. But for a lot of people, that's gonna be too much money for an ATV. Obviously, I mean, that's basically a vehicle at that point. But hey, to each their own. All in all, there's no denying this was an absolutely incredible experience, and I wanna say thank you to Polaris again, because I don't work for Polaris. I've never taken a dime from Polaris. I have no reason to give them a good review or a bad review. I just think that the experience as a whole was incredible. So kudos to them for rolling out this vehicle in this way. Hopefully we can even convince Polaris to loan me one of those guys for the property for this upcoming hunting season and just for general use around here and content. I think that would be pretty cool. All in all, it was an incredible experience. Got to see the Grand Canyon, got to camp near it on top of an ATV, and I almost got to die of fear in a plane. So all in all, it was an incredible experience for me. Get in the comment section, guys. Let me know what you think about the vehicle, what you think about the trip, anything. Love hearing from you guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. I love each and every one of you guys. Back to fishing in the next video.